Hey everyone, back on a Sunday. It's been a really slow week. I think one of the slowest weeks I've had in months, maybe even since the start of the year. Not sure what's going on. I definitely haven't been listing that much. I've kind of run out of bits and pieces to list at the minute. So it could be as a result of that. Might do is start doing some end and sell similars just to try and get that boosted back up. We've had 3 sales, so it's not a complete wipeout. First of all, we've had this opera CD, Heroes and Villains. So the top heroes and villains from opera's leading men. $5 plus postage. Nothing too exciting. Next up, I did get a whole bunch of these Fangoria magazines from the auction lot that we had of all the comics. I think we're now getting to a price point where I'm starting to sell these ones. This one went for $30 plus postage. It's pretty interesting. Lots of kind of nice gory details on the front, like brand new condition. So that's a good sale as well. And then we had Superman Action Comics, the Immortal, Invisible Mafia. Again, brand new. This one ended up going for $20 plus postage. So that's $55 plus postage for 3 days of sales, which isn't amazing, but it is still coming through. I'm just chatting to another guy now on eBay about doing a bulk deal, so maybe that'll come off this evening. If it does, then I'll bring it back to you too. Otherwise, I'll get this packed up and let's hope for a better week next week. So that guy did end up picking up those couple of comics. I forgot to take a picture of them, but here they are. They're all packed up off to the UK. I think I messed up on postage though, so only made I think about $10 off those, unfortunately. But it's another couple of comics out the door. More excitingly though, I just want another storage unit, so we'll go and pick that up tomorrow. A whole bunch of pop figurines and fugglers. Also said like a tent and some spiritual items, whatever they might be. I can't see any in the picture, so it's up in the city though, which is going to take me about half an hour to get there after work tomorrow, depending on traffic. But there's not a lot, so it'll fit. So it's one trip, one drop into the car. I just kind of priced up some of the picture of all the pops that was actually in the picture. I think there was about $400 worth of pops there, at a cheap price, I guess. A lot of horror stuff, so that hopefully will go quite well. Look like they're all brand new too. So paid I think $500 for the unit in total. Yeah, so only if my calculations are right, we're only about $100 out in terms of turning in a profit. There's a couple of porcelain dolls and bits and pieces in there, so pretty confident we should make some money on there. But it's always exciting seeing what we can get. All right, I'm gonna get to bed because it's pretty late, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Hey, on my phone tonight, my GoPro battery seems to be cooked. I get about 3 minutes worth of life out of it, so I need to get a new one or a new camera, perhaps. We'll see. Yeah, so I've had a fairly odd week. I've had maybe our second best week ever in terms of sales and revenue, but not a lot of items. But so that means the average sale price is quite high, which is pretty good. So that's pretty cool. Started doing the packing this evening and forgot to actually show you guys, so I'll just take you through the couple of things that we've got going on and then I'll show you the rest. First up in this package we have a Doctor Who magazine. That went for, let's have a look here. So the Doctor Who magazine went for $16.53 plus postage, so I took an offer on that one. One of the first ones to sell. I thought it would have sold a little bit quicker, to be honest. Next up, another one that I've packed up. This was a World's Finest. This was Batman Superman special, a number 10 variant edition. It was a holiday cardstock edition as well, so that ended up for $30 on an offer, which is pretty good for a single comic. Yeah, plus postage. Next up, I ended up selling the remote control or the radio control car. I had it for a while. It came out one of the storage units. We're well into profit on the storage unit, so ended up taking an offer of $75 plus postage, and I think it was about $50 worth of postage over east. So still a whole bunch of profit. I say brought into profit on that unit already. so that's all pure profit. It is this big large box down here. It weighed just under 5 kilos, which is pretty good because I think once you hit 5 kilos things start to get really expensive. So they're all packed up ready to rock. Next up we had I sold a 50-cent coin as well. So I was kind of into coin noodling for a little while, kind of going to the bank, grabbing a whole bunch of coins, going through them and seeing what I could find with any errors or rare ones, you know, the colored $2 coins. So I found a few. I've still got a few that have been listed since ever. Ended up selling one of those. 50 cents, sold it for, I think it was like $4 all up, including postage. Ended up making a couple of dollars on it. So that's kind of cool. Ticks it over. Next up we had this Birds of a Feather trade paperbacks. We had the trade paperback lot. This one ended up going for $27 plus postage on an offer. So these are definitely starting to click through now. Next up we had 1-800 Ghosts. So it's this kind of magazine format comic by Fantagraphics. Don't know too much about it, but we did get $12.50 plus postage for that one. What else did we have? Oh, that's right, we had Old Mate. So this came out of the first storage unit I ever brought, with thousands of dollars into profit there. So ended up taking off on this, $5 plus postage. Old Mate, I don't know if that'll come out right when I do the video, but yeah, Old Mate, just a Coca-Cola kind of cup. Next up, kind of chatting to my boy about this one, I kind of agreed to what he said. He said I probably should have held on to one of them. It's a couple of autographed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer cards. So he was a famous Man United soccer player, went on to be their manager, didn't do so well. I think he was actually dumped a little bit too early, but so there's a couple of signed soccer cards with a COA for what that's worth. My boy said, oh, I should have kept one. I'm thinking about it, I probably should. Did get $72 plus postage, so that's, you know, that's good. I've got a whole bunch more out of this this lot, so I've got a few more autographs and photographs. I think that might take me into profit on those, but I did buy it with a whole bunch of soccer cards, if you've seen me sell before. So overall, in terms of that Facebook Marketplace buy, we're in profit. Last up, I do have a couple of items that haven't paid, but last up for the stuff that I'm packing up now. I don't think it's out yet, but the storage unit I've just bought with all the pops in it also had a bunch of these fugglers. So funny, ugly animal things. This one makes some interesting noises. Yep. So only listed, I think this morning or yesterday, ended up going for $30 full asking price plus postage. I've got a couple of more of those out for sale and listed at the moment. That's the only one with the noises, so maybe that's why that one's sold. But it's good to start getting some money back on the unit. I really do think I'm only going to break even at most. I listed all of the pops that are in there for I think $300 on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. There's a couple of rarer ones in there, maybe $30, $40 pieces, but nothing amazing. So all the tarot cards that are in there as well were listed, but there really wasn't a lot else in there. So we'll see how we go. Check out the video if you haven't seen it. It'll take you through what we found in that unit, or I guess more so what we didn't find. So yeah, that's it for this weekend, kind of 3 days worth of sales. It's pretty good. I think we did again around $1,000 worth of revenue, which is pretty good for me. Let's say I think that's maybe my second highest revenue week ever. So I need to get this packed up and away to bed. So I'll catch you on the next one. Start of a new week. Had a few sales come in on a Monday. A couple of people paid who haven't paid over the weekend. I'm going to start off with a set of 4 trade paperbacks. Here we have the Descender series. Issues 1, 3, 4 and 5, so missing volume 2. Nice little set. ended up going for $59 plus postage, so that's pretty good. What's that, $15 each? Yeah, about $15 a pop, which is pretty good. We'll get those into an envelope and sent off. Next up, kind of at the other end of the scale, got this classic 1950s volume 1 CD, $4 I think plus postage. We're going to have to look at postage going forward with the prices going up in the next couple of weeks. Normally I just do a flat $5 postage. It goes as a small, goes as a large letter inside of a little cardboard box. I'm kind of holding off buying stamps at the moment on them out, which is a bit of a pain because you have to go to the counter and get them to process it. But once the price goes up, I'll get some new stamps. So there's that going out. Then something a little bit weird. So out of the, not the latest unit, but the unit before that where it was African bits and pieces, there was this Novo disc wallet thing. It holds, I'm pretty sure, these kind of things. So this is an empty one, but in here you put your, I think it's insulin needles. This is just an empty dispenser. I don't think we can sell those on eBay, but we can sell just the little cases that you hold them in. Didn't think I'd get anything for it. Ended up getting $4 plus postage. So we're in profit on that unit already. So that's, again, all pure profit. Next, probably the best sale, or the most interesting sale, I think, from the sales that we've had, is this pretty cool E.T. I think it must be a comic. Oh no, it's the ultimate visual history. So I'm guessing, yeah, kind of stories about the cast and the show, kind of scene grabs. Brand new seal, still in its original shrink wrap. This ended up on an offer for $40.37 plus postage. I think everything is going, yeah, everything's staying inside Australia today. So that's nice and easy. We'll get those out the door pretty quickly. Just had a big order come through, hasn't paid yet, but I did a big bulk deal on a whole bunch of comics. It's only about $100 worth. So some of the trade paperbacks, I did a really good price on them. I kind of did pretty much half price, but I just need them out the door. I want to try and get to profit. One of the cool things is there's a whole stack of Venom comics, which were part of one of the original comic lots that I purchased. Not at auction or anything, just and I probably paid retail for them. So it's good to see a bunch of those get moving and getting us closer to profitability on those as well. A couple of other orders just waiting for payment as well. A regular buyer, I've got a guy who buys comics off me regularly, just waiting for him to pay. So we do have some bits and pieces in the background. Just looking at some of the numbers from last week as well. I had a really good week. It's probably the third best week we've had, around $1,000 worth of revenue. And most of that probably would have been profit. So although it wasn't a lot of sales, the average sale price was around, I think, $40–50. So we did do pretty well. So yeah, okay, I'm going to get this stuff packed up, and then we'll get it out the door. Here we are, Tuesday. Had a few sales, or lots of comics past 24 hours. Good to see them start really selling again. This week's not been too bad so far. First up, we've got the big lots of comics that we sold that I was working on yesterday. He paid today. Did a bit of a jiggery pokery. There was another comic that he thought he needed, or he picked the wrong one, so just did a bit of a swap out. Ended up, yeah, there's a whole bunch of Venom in here. A whole selection of Venom Volume 4. Most of these Venoms are out of one of the original comic lot books, comic book lots that I picked up. I think I kind of paid retail, so I'll make maybe 50 cents each on those. Ended up selling for about $4 a piece. Then some trade paperbacks. I think this one's actually out of the 3400 lot. Roach Mill. Interesting looking kind of comic. Interesting name for sure. Then out of the trade paperback lot, out of the auction lot, we've got Bacon and Other Tales, Bacon and Other Monstrous Tales. Some interesting graphics on this one. We have Static, again some interesting types of graphics on here. We have Peacemaker Tries Hard. This one actually I did a really good deal. All of the trade paperbacks I think went for about $10 in the end, apart from this one, which I think was 15, which is really good. I really want to get to profitability on these, so I was happy just to do a deal, and considering he was buying a lot, I was okay with that. Then Blab, which is in a magazine format, that looks quite interesting too. And then the Curdles, another one in magazine format, and interesting graphics on the back. Some interesting bits and pieces there. They ended up going for $89 for that lot, plus postage. Then this is a repeat buyer, so this is the second lot, I think it's our second or third lot that we've had. Some vintage Superman, the Man of Steel comics from 1992, so issues 1 and 2. Issue 2 comes with the trading cards as well included. Ended up getting $14.25 for that plus postage. These are all from the trade paperback lot. So we've got a couple of comics here, the X-Men, a couple of kind of sketch design covers, I think for incentive covers, and then Monstrous Volume 5 in a trade paperback. So those three went for $35 plus postage, which is pretty good considering the buy price. So only 3 sales. I think I've still got a couple more that I'm waiting for sale. I did have someone pick up a plush teddy, and then they sent me like a really weird comment saying that there was something wrong with the eBay account. It's sending the wrong details to sellers. She can't read messages from sellers, but she's not going to pay for this order. Bit strange. So I'll just wait for eBay to cancel that out. And they will get a non-payment strike as well. What else was I waiting on? I think I've sold a couple more comics as well, so hopefully they'll pay and come through in the next 24 hours as well. Sent a whole bunch of offers. Yeah, we're doing well again this week after last week, so let's hope that continues. Okay, we've had another really big bulk sale of comics again overnight. This guy picked up 20 issues of Nocterra, I think that's pronounced. This was out of the big auction lot that we had. So it's good to see these start selling. I've had a lot of interest actually. I've sent out a whole bunch of offers over the past 24 hours on a whole bunch of comics. So it looks like, you know, doing some of those big bulk sales has spiked the algorithm. Ended up doing a deal, cutting some deals on this. So these 20 comics went for $79.80. So that's what, nearly around $4 a comic. And my buy price was around $2, I think. So we'll get these all wrapped up and put into a medium envelope. I'll wrap them in cardboard first, and then they'll go out. Probably make a couple of bucks on the postage as well because of the postage discounts. Nice quick sale. And that was the only sale actually. Actually, I'll tell a lie, we did sell another thing. So I know I mentioned yesterday someone emailing me or messaging me saying that there was some kind of issue with their eBay account, or the day before even perhaps. So I think eBay was about to cancel that order and they were going to get a non-payment strike. So they ended up paying for the order, but then almost immediately messaging me to cancel and requesting a cancellation of the order, which is really strange. I guess you avoid the non-payment strike, but then get an order cancellation strike on your account, maybe. It was really weird because initially I sent them an offer, they countered, which I accepted, and then heard nothing, and then got the random message saying that there was a problem with their account, and then 2 days passed, and then they pay just before it's about to cancel, only to cancel the order. Bizarre, I don't know. Anyway, so that's the only sale. Editing up a video this evening, so I won't do too much kind of listing this evening. Had a good sale overnight, pretty excited this morning. I'll start off with the OK sale. Kind of bread and butter for me at the moment. We've got these 2 Punisher comics, Punisher Warzone from 1992, in really good condition. Bagged and boarded, ready to go. $8 plus postage on those. So they'll go out and it's nice, quick and easy. It's from the 3400 lot, so already in profit there, so that's all profit. Next up, this is pretty cool. We sold these 3 compendiums, so these Spawn compendiums. Really good, as new condition. Weigh an absolute ton. Volumes 1, 3, and 4. Went for full asking price of $285 plus postage. I think it's about $30 worth of postage, so that's really good. It's from the auction lot. That'll take us, I think we're only, I don't know, maybe $400 from profit now on that first auction lot. So everything's going really well. Seeing lots of sales as well at the moment. I don't know if the whole promoted listings thing is taking effect. I've continued to promote, and I pretty much do 3% flat across the board. So maybe with some of the other people removing their promoted listings, which I've started to see online, maybe I'm just bubbling to the top. Or maybe it's just because I've had a couple of really big comic book lots sold recently, which has, you know, fed the algorithm. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. I'll pack those up, get them into cardboard, and then into envelopes, and then off they'll go. Let's hope we get a few, a couple more big sales over the weekend, and we go into next week, or where are we? Yeah, probably next week is the last week of end of financial year as well. So it'd be good just to finish off really strong, and maybe I'll do a review of kind of where we were at this financial year in terms of sales and revenue and profit. All right, I'm going to get these packed away and off to the post office. Hey, just a quick one. Got a guy coming to pick up the War of the Worlds paperback book. Sold for $5. Probably, I think it was like a 50 cents buy or something like that. So yeah, it's coming now. Had a bit of back and forwards. I'm not really sure how to accept cash at local pickup. So I was just like, hey, if you can just pay through the app, then you can come grab it this evening. That's cool. If anybody knows how people can pay cash on pickup, let me know, because I'll be pretty interested in being able to offer that to buyers as well. So the guy came and picked up his little book for $5. Paid online, all sorted out, nice, quick and easy. Like those sales, let's say it was $5, probably made, I don't know, a couple of dollars on it. But any profit is profit, so we'll take that for sure. Had a really good weekend, past 3 or 4 days, had a lot of sales come through, and some good sales as well, so the average sale price I think it is quite high. First up, a couple of comic books going to the same guy. We've got this large magazine, pack. Got this large magazine style comic, New York Ninja, super special one shot. Quite a large kind of comic-y type thing. Got $22.50 for it. And he also brought this trade paperback, The Frontiersman. Kind of some cool frontiersman, some kind of cool little artwork on the front there. Quite an interesting little comic. So did $7.13 on that, just because he bought both of them together. So we'll get those out the door and away. Next up, a couple of, BPRD. I think it's Hellboy trade paperbacks. A couple of the bigger volume sets. These went for $45 to a repeat buyer, plus postage. Next up, we've got this Storm Tech jacket. Came out of one of the more recent storage units that we did. It is branded with Impex, which is an oil and gas company. Ended up getting $60 plus postage for this, which is pretty good. So that'll definitely take us onto profit on that unit. I think it was the second to last unit that we did, the African unit. Don't do a lot of clothing these days, but to see that come through is pretty cool. Then we have another trade paperback, or one shot I think it is, Forgetless. So this came out of the 3,400 lot of comics, which we're in profit with already. Just $4 plus postage on that one, bread and butter for me. Next up, our best sale from the weekend. A couple of hardcover trade paperbacks, or I guess hardcover comic books, 2 volumes. This is the Sunstone series, probably a more risque type of comic book for the adult viewers. These come up really well. I've got a bunch of the comics as well, and I think I've already sold a set as well. These are off to the US as well. They're really heavy. So shipping to the US, I think it was about $70, but they paid $150 for the pair, plus shipping to the US. So I think overall, I think it was like $220 with the US tax as well, off to LA. This kind of stuff sells really, really well. So if you ever see anything that's kind of more adult style comics, I would say definitely pick them up. And this series here definitely, so for $150, which is really good. Considering the buy price on these was, I don't know, $2.50. I think that's exceptional. Then we've got another piece that came out of a recent storage unit. We've got the Samsung Galaxy 3 S3. So it was sold for parts only, no battery, but it did come with a box, a screen kind of protector and stuff. Can't believe this was $7.9 way back in the day. We ended up getting $26 for that on an offer. So it all adds towards profitability on the unit. So next up we had, this just came through just before I started doing the picking and packing. Another comic book. It's out of the second lot of comics that we got at auction. This the Riddler, year 1. So it is an incentive. It's 1 in 15. So for every 15 of these that the comic book sold, they got issued one of these special editions. Variant cover, collectible, definitely. Went for $22. Went for $21 plus postage. So that rounds out a really good weekend of bits and pieces being sold. The average sale price is quite high. Good to see stuff going through. On a bit of a run at the moment with eBay, and that's kind of what we've got. Got a week left in the month and of the financial year. So yeah, that's finishing us off really well. I'll add it up and we'll see where we're at, and I'll probably do an end of year wrap as well. Howdy, just a quick one today. We did have a sale yesterday. We had, I think it was 7 Superman comics went out. Camera died, so I didn't get it on camera. I think that was $40 plus postage. That came out of the 3,400 lot of comics. So some good profit there, considering we're already in profit. So that was really good. Today, just had a guy put through an order for 4 comics out of the large auction lots, or the 2 out of the first and 2 out of the second auction lots. We have Savage Tales Winter Special. Looks like a horror, some type of horror comic. We have Ninjas and Robots. This one looks super independent, I think. Not really sure about that one. Then we have, I think it is Eros and Psyche. I don't know. Not sure about that one either. And then Sweet Paprika. So I've sold a bunch of these already. These seem fairly popular. So those 4 comics as a lot went for $43.30 plus postage to combine shipping, and they'll be out in the mailer in about 5 minutes. Nice, quick and easy. eBay's really weird. Last week was, I think, a record week or close to record week. And yeah, since Monday, completely switched off kind of these 2 sales. Not bad average sale prices, over $40 this week, even though it is just the 2 sales. But yeah, compared to last week, it was going, and especially the weekend, it went crazy. So who knows what's happening in eBay land? We'll wait and see. Morning everyone, just had me brekkie. Had a couple of sales come on overnight, and first thing this morning, which I'm just getting packed up. First of all, we had Criminal Volume 7 from the trade paperback lot. Ended up just taking an offer on this one for $8 plus postage. And then we had Commander in Crisis issue number 1. I've got another one of these, so I've kind of just used Sell Similar to get it listed. This one took a real low offer of $3 plus postage to get this out the door. This was one of the original comics that I brought, not out of the 3,400 lot, but there was a couple of other small boxes that I brought way back when. So I probably broke even on that one. I didn't make too much money. 2 quick and easy sales to go in little rigid envelopes, and we'll get those out the door this morning. When everybody had a couple of overnight sales that I'll just take you through. Nothing amazing, bit of bread and butter. First up, we've got No Doubt
Rock Steady on CD. Yeah, bread and butter. Went for $5 plus postage. Luckily we're getting a few days before the Ozpost price hike. Would have been another 20 cents. And then we've got this new and sealed Aircraft of the Aces, French Aces of World War II. Out of the big lot of aircraft stuff that I've got, wanted to profit with these. I took her off on this because of that. $8.50 plus postage. Nice, quick and easy. They'll go into a couple of mailers and we'll get them out the door. Very easy, all profit. That's what we like to see. I've sold something else, quite a big item, so I'm just waiting for that to be paid. Hopefully I'll be able to take you through that very shortly.
Hi all, back this afternoon, or this evening now as it is, with a few more sales that came through today. I think I spoke to you guys this morning and spoke about there's a couple more sales I was waiting for pay. So they have paid now and have come through. We'll start off with this one. So I can't even read that. I'm gonna have to check the listing. So this is Dark One's Third Eye #1. I rebagged this because the backing board wouldn't go in the other little envelope. I look at this. It's just like some artwork in this style of the character, which was all kind of funky. This one went for $4 plus postage. Next up, out of the trade paperback lot, we have Sonata trade paperback. This is volume 2 from 2020. This one went for $9 plus postage. Next up, this is the last sale that I had today. Well, the last one that came through today. And this is Last Man Book 2 in a softcover format from 2023. Really good condition. Ended up getting $27.50 on an offer on this one. Then the best sale for the day was actually the first one that came through. This was purchased yesterday, and the person paid for this morning, just after I did the postage, and I didn't have time to get it packed away. So this is a brand new, still in cellophane wrap. It is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection, volume 2. Nice big heavy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, always popular. I started this kind of well over $100, but ended up taking an offer of $90 plus postage, which is still really good considering the really low price that I had. These few sales of the are all from the first auction lot that I had as well, so that should take us, I think, very close now to being in profit on that lot, which is pretty cool. And we've still got about 500 other bits and pieces to sell, so we're still tracking towards probably 15k profit if I can get rid of them all at a reasonable price. But yeah, at least we're kind of back into the green now on that, or very soon we'll be back into the green. Alright, well, this week picked up after those sales. It had been fairly slow the start of the week. Hopefully we see that increase again as we come into the weekend with a whole bunch more sales. I know I've been sending out a bunch of offers. I've got my own a couple of storage units as well. However, I do go on vacation in a week or so. So whether I do something before we go on vacation, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Hey everyone, bit of a what's sold at the end of this weekend. It's kind of started out a bit slow, but picked up over the weekend. Had a few good sales and a few different bits and pieces as well come through over the past 48 hours. I'll take you through them. First up, we've got these Simpsons glasses. These are out of a storage unit that we had. In really good condition. They're fairly new, I think. Ended up getting $19 plus postage, and they are off to the US, so we'll make a little bit of postage there. Be a little bit of a pain in the bum to pack, but that's the way it is. The guy was looking at, I've got a similar set for Pokemon, so he's looking at taking those off me as well, but I think postage was just a bit steep. I think overall it's about $70 a postage. I think it was going to be about $90 if I ship both sets. So yeah, out the door, I'll take $19. Next up, you would have seen this week, actually, I think it was earlier in the week, that I've picked up a bunch of vintage computer games, kind of PC, CD-ROM, big box stuff. And one of those has already gone on to sell. We managed to sell the Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines, I think it is. inbox of all its bits and pieces, including the CD in good condition. Ended up selling, I think, for $70 plus postage. Yeah, $70 plus postage. So real nice quick turnaround. Say pay $20 for the lot, so already well into profit with that. All right, next up, we've got a few comic books here. Most of these are out of the second comic book auction lot that I purchased. A whole bunch of Robin variants. So most of these are kind of 1:25 ratios as well. So for every 25 comics that the retailer sold, they got one of these as well to look at. And then I think one of these came out of the 3400 lot that I had. Overall, that's $74 worth for those 4 comics, which is pretty good, especially considering the buy price. And the second auction lot as well, we're now very quickly moving towards profit. Next up, I've got a big stack of comics here. I shouldn't say comics, it's more the aviation magazines. So if you've seen me sold these in the past, I've sold a whole bunch of them. This guy managed to pick up, I think, 7 different versions. They're all pretty cool. Some of those are still sealed in their original packaging. I think most of these went for $9 on an offer. Then he picked up a couple of trade paperbacks as well. So you got Criminal, The Last Innocent, and My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies. A couple of interesting titles. And then he also added, the next day he added The Punisher, Die Hard, in the Big Easy. I've got a whole bunch of these, so I've now done a sell similar, and that's back on, and he took that for $4. So overall, the 2 lots will go for $85 plus postage, which is pretty cool. Next up, I don't know how long ago it was now, probably 18 months, I picked up a whole bunch of little mini soccer figures. These were kind of little collectible figures that you could get back, I don't know, in the mid 2000s, I think they were. This one is Luis Garcia, and I sold him for $4 plus postage. Final sale we've had come through over the last 24 hours, and I think they've just paid actually over the past 10-15 minutes. A couple of hardback trade paperbacks of Superman. So we have Superman, the Unity Saga. It's a brand new sealed hardcover, really nice condition. And then we have Superman Leviathan, again hardcover, brand new sealed, again in really good condition. This one's just missing a little bit of the shrink wrap on the back there, but as a pair we got $65, so that is also really good, and I think that will definitely take us into profit on that first auction lot. So anything that we sell out of the first auction lot now is all profit for us. It's only taken us 3 or 4 months to get through that. Okay, just had another quick sale coming through as I was packing up those bits and pieces. We had a CD, Ben Librand Styles. It's off to the USA. I got $12 on an offer plus postage. So off to the USA, so we'll make a couple of dollars on postage there too. I think buy price was like 50 cents or something, not even that, 34 cents. That's pretty good. Right. Last day of the financial year and our last sale. Only one sale today. Another trade paperback. Ended up taking an offer for, what was the offer? For $23.45, so $12.50 plus postage for Volume 3, Kill or Be Killed. We've got a few of these, so I've relisted this or sold similar on this one. That'll be out tomorrow morning as we start the new financial year. I'll probably do another video just to go through kind of how this year has been. It's been really successful for me. I think the big comic book lots have really pushed me forward, as well as doing a few more storage units than I did the previous financial year. Yeah, so I'll do a full video on that of kind of where we're at profit wise. I think we ended up around 25,000 in revenue off the top of my head, and we had some pretty good profit margins. I haven't worked out exactly what that is yet. I think it'll be about 30-40%, but we'll see. And just off the top of my head, I think it's about double what we did last year. So, okay, I'll wrap up and get this posted, and then hopefully we'll kick off the new financial year with a shed load of sales.